Hey everyone, my name is Tori, and today's video I'm going to be doing my what's in my travel bag. So I recently just got back from a 10 or 11 day trip to Greece. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. We were there for my best friend's wedding, and it was just so beautiful. And we went to Athens and Mykonos and Santorini and just had the time of our lives. It was just amazing. For this trip, I took a makeup bag, and I thought it'd be fun to share what I took. I always think it's really interesting to see what people choose to bring on vacation, because I feel like you bring the products that you know and trust. So I like to carry, if I do check a bag, I always put my makeup in my carry-on bag. But this is the bag that I take, and I put other things in this besides for makeup. I'll include things like headbands, hair ties, bobby pins. I have makeup removing wipes or Q-tips, all that kind of stuff. So I'll keep all of those types of things in this bag as well. I'm going to mostly just be talking about the makeup I took. So I'm not talking about toiletries and skincare and that kind of thing, but just solely makeup. So in this bag, it has a top section on it. I got this at Victoria's Secret a while back. It's just a train case style. You can find this so many places. It's a very popular, I think, common style of bag. So at the top, it has a zip closure compartment that's thinner than the bottom part. This is where I keep all of my brushes, and usually I have that really it's the hard case Morphe brush holder. I usually travel with that because it protects your brushes so well, but in this case I was really trying to preserve space, so I put all of my brushes in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I put them right in the top here, and they just lay flat, and then this zips shut. So I actually don't put anything in these little flaps that hold brushes. I feel like they don't ever fit my brushes, so I just put it in the Ziploc bag and put them on top. Sorry if you hear any heavy breathing, it's my pug Leo. He won't stop, so we're just gonna have to roll with that. So in this top zip here, this is where I kept my lip products. So I kept mostly bold lips. So the ones that I brought are, I have this Ofra Cosmetics. This was with a shade called Havana Nights. This is a liquid lipstick, and this was in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. It's a beautiful color. This is one of my favorite colors to wear. I'm kind of on the outs with the formula, but I love the color. I wore this a few times there. I also brought Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Craft. This is one of my favorite colors. I love colors like this. Anything that's berry or this kind of a tone I love, and I actually didn't wear this. I mean, I love it, I just didn't wear it. Same with this one. This is the Too Faced Melted Liquid Long Wear Lipstick. Liquified Long Wear Lipstick. And this is in the shade Berry or Melted Berry. You say hi. This is the snorting you're hearing. Hi, baby. I love this lipstick. I love the way it smells. I love the way it feels, and it wears really nicely. It's kind of thin. It doesn't get clumpy or gross, so I really like this formula, but I didn't wear it in Greece. I brought a Kat Von D lipstick. This is a a matte formula, and this one is in the shade Bachelorette. It's a bright pink, almost like a reddish pink. I love this color, love this lipstick. Also didn't wear it. I got this one for Christmas. This is by MAC. This is just their bullet lipstick, and this is in the shade called Rouge in Snow. It's a blue tone red. I haven't used it, and I was like, oh, it'll be so much fun to use in Greece. This packaging, I didn't use it. And with that, I also brought a lip liner to go with it. This is the NYX lip liner in the shade Hot Red. I love NYX lip liners. They're awesome. And then I also brought this lip liner by Colourpop. This is in the shade I Heart This. It's just a fuchsia lip liner. So I could kind of go back and forth between those to make it work with a lot of the shades that I brought. Didn't use it. And then I brought this. I did use this. This is in the shade, this is Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Mother. This is a beautiful kind of warm pink mauve. This is a great color. I really, really love this color. So out of all of those bold lips, I only wore 2 of them, and I really didn't need to bring all those. I was just, you always get that, well, what if I want to wear this? What if I want, whatever. I should have only brought 2. So now that was the top layer. So on the inside of it, when you open the bigger flap, it has this large compartment in the bottom. And this bag also came with a smaller bag inside. So what I'll do is I'll fill the smaller bag, and then I'll set it in the bigger bag and then put things around it. So all of this stuff, except for maybe the 2 palettes that I have, fit inside of this bag. So I brought a face palette and an eyeshadow palette. So the face palette that I brought is the Smashbox, the Cali contour palette. The reason I brought this is because well, first of all, the mirror is amazing, which is really great, especially because sometimes when you're traveling, you never really know what the mirror situation is going to be. So I love to have a mirror that's like large and easy to hold and is just a good mirror to use anytime that I'm traveling. So inside of this, what I really love about this palette is it had this yellow brightening powder, and then it had the contour shade here. So I could use this to contour. I can use this to blend out anything, to brighten the under eye, whatever I want to use it for. This is a great blush for when I am self-tanned or when I have a bit of a tan. And then this is a really great matte bronzer for when I'm tan, but also I can use it when I'm not self-tanned, but it's better when I am tanned. But this is all around a great product for me to use personally when I travel, because it has pretty much everything that I need when it comes to like face products. But I say that I still brought 2 other bronzers, so we'll get to that. The next thing I have here, this is the eyeshadow palette that I brought. This is the only eyeshadow that I brought with me, except for like, I think I have like 1 or 2 lid shades in here. But this is the only eyeshadow palette that I brought. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Pressed Powder Eyeshadow Palette in this shade. I think this is called the Bronze Palette. When this first came out, I actually wasn't really that interested, and it didn't have a mirror. When I bought it, eventually, however long after it came out, I eventually bought it like at a pop-up shop in New York, and this one has a mirror on it, which is kind of cool because I wasn't expecting that anyway, so I was excited about that. But on the inside, it's just a bunch of neutral browns. I can just make so many looks with it. So it's just a really versatile palette for me. It has all the types of colors that I like to wear. This is one of my favorite transition shades ever of all time. I think it's called Topaz. I've got a little bit of a dip going in that. I love this brown for deepening the outer corner and that sort of thing. The black is just a really black. And then for the shimmers here, I'm just not crazy about them. I use them. I don't know. They don't show up like very metallic. They're kind of a weird in-between for me, and I don't particularly love them, though I do use them. I'll use this one, the one on the bottom here, the lighter one. It's not a bad color, it's just not what I prefer to use in my lids. I prefer to use something more metallic. And then this kind of like bone-colored matte cream shade. I know a lot of people feel like that's a staple in a palette for them. For me, I don't really feel that way. I would much more prefer to have like a shimmery or sheeny brow bone highlight than a matte cream color, but I'll still use it to like blend out other things. But that would be what I would change with this palette. But other than that, I absolutely love this palette. The quality is really great, and it was great to travel with. It's a small size. It had everything that I wanted. So now kind of dipping into that little bag I was telling you about, this small one here. I'll just start with, I guess, the order that you put your makeup on. Ooh. So I have my darker shade of concealer and then my lighter shade of concealer, and then I would just kind of mix and match to make it work as my tan kind of came and went throughout the course of the trip. So I have it in the shade C6 is my light one, and then C8 is my darker one. These are the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealers. These are really great. They are, I would say, a pretty close dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I think I said in a previous video that I wouldn't purchase the Tarte Shape Tape again because I found something that's very similar. I still agree with that, but the Tarte Shape Tape did go on sale last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I ended up repurchasing my Tarte Shape Tape because it was on sale. So I bought it because I saved money, but I think other than that, this is a perfectly fine alternative. To set my concealer, I brought the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I actually bought this in a travel size because I love it so much, but the full size is way too big for me to travel with. This is what I use to set my smile lines, under eyes, and my little line and forehead area. I love this. This is one of my favorite products. Now for face powders, same thing. I brought 2 in 2 different colors. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 16 Hour Wear face powder. I think it's actually a powder foundation. I have it in 2 colors. This is 100 Porcelain and 200 Natural Beige, and I just mix and match to kind of get the shade that I'm going for whenever I'm tan or not tan or whatever. I love this powder. I've been using this for a long time. I've gone through several of these. You really do get the longevity out of this product, so I really do enjoy these powders. They worked really well for me while I was gone. There are 2 things that I'm realizing I didn't talk about, foundation or primer. I actually carry those in my liquids bag, and I ended up bringing my Peach Perfect Primed and Peachy Hydrating Matte Primer by Too Faced, which I've spoken about before. That's my favorite primer. That's the primer that I used the whole time I was there. This foundation was also in my liquids bag. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and this is my my tan shade, if you will. It's in the shade Ivory, which is hilarious that Ivory is my tan shade. So I brought that foundation. That's what I wear pretty much every day. And then the other foundation I brought is actually a BB Tinted Primer BB Tinted Treatment 12-Hour Primer by Tarte. And this one is in the shade Light. So the one that I usually use, the shade I usually use in this is Fair. But I use Light when I have a bit of a tan. I can use this by just rubbing it on my face like a sunscreen or a lotion. Then just kind of blending it out with my fingers. And I love the like really lightweight coverage it gives, and it has a SPF 30 in it. So this is one of my favorite things to wear on my face when I'm going for something a little more lightweight. So next I have bronzer. So I did bring that Cali contour kit, but I also brought 2 bronzers, which was excessive. I didn't need to do that. I only used one of them. This is my normal bronzer I use every day. This is the Too Faced Matte Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This is the light one, the milk chocolate. It's a matte bronzer. It smells great. The reason I brought 2 is because this is the bronzer I usually use just with my regular skin tone. I ended up also bringing my Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light one, because this one actually comes off a little bit warmer and a little bit darker on my skin tone than the Too Faced one. I brought both of them because I thought I could kind of mix and match the way I do with concealer. If I was, you know, my fresh self-tan, this one looks better. My not as fresh self-tan, this one looks better. But I ended up really just using this one, and it actually worked for when I was self-tan, because when I self-tan, I don't get that dark. Next in here I have some blush. I brought 3 blushes, which was excessive, but I actually used all 3 of them. The first one here is the Tarte birthday gift from, I think, last year, 2 years ago. This is in the shade Party. This was just a very neutral pink. I love this blush just for everyday anyway, so I brought this for that reason, because I love it for every day. One of my favorite blushes to wear when I have a little bit of a tan is by Becca Cosmetics, and this one is in the shade Songbird. No, it's not. Wild Honey. I like Songbird too, but this one's in the shade Wild Honey, and it almost looks like a bronzer. Like, it looks like it's going to be a bronzer, but it has a little bit of warmth in it, to where it looks like a blush. You could probably use it as a bronzer though, but kind of the reddish warm undertone in it looks so nice with the tan, and just it looks so good. I really, really love this blush, especially when I'm a little bit darker. So I took this one with me, and I wore this one a lot. The last blush that I brought was my Hourglass blush Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Diffuse Heat. So this one is it's got kind of a vibrant poppy color. It's pretty bright, and it's shimmery, and it has like some, I don't even know how to describe like how this works. It's got the color, it's kind of marbled. I don't even know what it's marbled with, but this is a beautiful color. Gives a really nice wash of color to the cheeks, and you can build it up to be pretty pigmented. Like, you kind of think that it's not going to be, and then it always fools me every time. So this is a really pretty bright, vibrant color, and I use this one as well. The only highlight that I brought, and I was like this close to bringing a full Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit with me, but I resisted, and I was fine. This is by the brand Becca, and I bought this in a travel size specifically for this trip because I love this shade so much. This is in the shade Champagne Pop. And this highlighter I love because I can use it at all stages of tan. At my very fairest, which I am most of the time, it's like a pinch too dark, but I can still make it work. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of applying it lightly. It's just like a touch too dark, but it's pretty much universal for me year round. I love this highlight so much. The formula is amazing. I'll use it on the high points of my face, and then I'll use it like inner corner. I'd use it on my lid. I love it. It's a multi-purpose product for me. So yeah, this is really great. So I now have a full size and a mini. I use it a lot though. Like, there's kind of a dip. Next up in here, I have eyebrow products, nothing too crazy. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, and the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. And that's what I use in my brows all the time, so no surprise there. That's it. The mascaras that I brought are my 2 favorite mascaras. You already know this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara in the shade, I think it's Very Black. Blackest Black. And then I also have the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect in the shade, I don't know, whatever the blackest shade is the one that I buy. And I put this one on first, the L'Oreal, and then I layer the Maybelline on top of it. And that's my favorite way to wear mascara. And I'll probably keep doing that until I find a new favorite. I also brought my NYX Epic Ink liner in the shade Black. Is there only one shade? I don't know if there's more shades than that. This is a dupe for the Kat Von D Trooper eyeliner, and it's also a dupe for the Physicians Formula Lash Boosting, Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner Plus Serum. This is a dupe for this one. I actually bought this Physicians Formula one, and this is in the shade Ultra Black, but this NYX one is blacker than the Physicians Formula one, which I didn't realize until I started using this Physicians Formula one again, and then I was like, oh wow, it's not as black as NYX. And I didn't know that until I tried something blacker. So for that reason, I probably would use the NYX over the Physicians Formula. Like while I was in Greece, I didn't touch this. I only wanted to use this one, even though this one I feel like I have a harder time applying. They're the same brush tip, but I feel like this one skips a little bit. That might be a user error, but I feel like this brush tip is slightly stiffer, which gives me kind of a sharper line. But I don't know, I feel like these two need to like have a baby to give me my perfect eyeliner. The only other eyeliner I brought was this travel size Marc Jacobs. I think it's like their gel liner. I don't know. What's this called? Highliner Gel Crayon. And this, I liked it because it twisted up. I didn't have to worry about sharpening it. And it's very black. And this is what I use for my waterline. Okay, I think the only other things in here are 2 lid colors. So like I was saying with that Kylie palette, I do feel like it's missing a lid shade for me. So I brought 2. This one is the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Amaze. It's kind of a bronzy color, and it's got some silver, really glitter in it. It's glitter, but it's very fine, so it's not like chunky. I love this formula when it doesn't dry out, and I love this color. Sometimes the glitter can fall a little bit, but you have to be pretty careful with it when you apply it. But I love this color for all over the lid, especially like a bronze look. And then this is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. It's like a pressed pigment, and this is in the shade Ice Latte, so you can kind of see what that looks like there. It's like a vanilla creamy, beautiful pressed pigment, maybe you could call it. This formula is really, really nice. It's super soft, and it has like, it's very metallic, and it's just has a great sheen to it. And the other color that I like in this line is called Amber Rush, which I think was like all the rage on YouTube a while back, but I actually like Ice Latte a little bit better because Amber Rush can sometimes be a little bit too dark for me when I'm just trying to go for something like an everyday look. There was a point in time where I did not do my makeup without this at all. I couldn't do it without this. I always finish my makeup with this on my, like the inner part of my lid and my inner corner, literally every single day. So I love this, use that. Used both lid shades while I was there. The only other things that I brought 2 lip glosses, and that was it. I have this Dose of Colored ones in the shade Messy Bun. This shade is really cool, and I actually ordered it online when it was on sale. They were doing a big sale on all the Dose of Colored glosses, and this gloss, I think I paid maybe $10 for it, something like that. So I'd always wanted to try it, but I never wanted to spend the money on it for whatever reason, and so I ordered this shade online, and it's like a mauve-y pink, but it's got this really cool iridescent purpley blue, very soft shimmer glitter thing happening in it that you wouldn't even know was there until you stare at the tube. And it's just so cool, and it smells like, it smells good. It smells like vanilla. You know how I feel about vanilla. Beautiful, beautiful formula. I love this gloss. It's not sticky. It's very smooth. It's just, this is good. This is really good gloss. And then the other gloss that I brought with me that I wore the most is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. It's the Universal shade. I love this lip gloss. It's just such a gorgeous shade. It works like, what, on every skin tone. I really think it is that universal. It smells so good. It smells so good. It's just a beautiful color. It's just, it's neutral. It's got a little bit of gold shimmer to it, and I feel like I can just throw this on with any look and it'll work. So that's what I used this for while I was there. With like a lot of makeup or a little bit of makeup, it always looked good. So that is all of the makeup that I took with me on my trip to Greece. I do think looking back there are definitely some things that I didn't need. I don't think I needed to take all of those bold lips. I think I could have taken 2. I think I probably could have done without the 3 bronze options. And then I probably could have cut down on one of the blushes, though I used them all. But yeah, so it's always fun, I think, to go back and kind of see what did you actually use and kind of use that to help you for next time when you're packing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.